Yo, Adam Saxon with Guy in a Cube, and in this video, we're going to look at workspaces inside of Microsoft Fabric. This includes Power BI. Now, workspaces are a way to organize content and to collaborate with others. There are actually two types of workspaces that you need to be aware of. The first one is My Workspace. This is the default workspace, so when you first sign into Microsoft Fabric, you are going to be placed inside of My Workspace. This is like your personal playground. If you want to go create things, kick the tires, see what's going on. Just know that by default, if you just spin up Fabric for the first time and you go into the service and you're inside of My Workspace, you're only going to really have the option of using Power BI as part of this. So you can upload a report from Power BI Desktop and you can work with things inside of the service from that perspective. If you try to create other Fabric workloads like a lakehouse, warehouse, those types of things, that will prompt you into the free 60-day trial and you'll have to create another workspace for that. You can technically use that with My Workspace, but I don't recommend it. My Workspace should really just be used for things that you want to work on. Do not use that for production items. Do not use that for things that you're going to share out to other people. The second workspace type that's out there is just a workspace. Used to be referred to as an app workspace, but now it's just a workspace. We're simplifying things. So this is really where you want to be if you want to collaborate, if you want to do things with other people, if you want to do large distribution to other users outside of just yourself. There's lots of different reasons why you would use a given workspace and or how to organize those workspaces, right? So you may have one for each team. You may also have a dedicated workspace for a specific project. Those are all possibilities. All right, enough of all this talking. You know, we like to do it here in Guy in a Cube. Let's do what? Let's head over to my machine and look at how to create one of these. Like I said, we are inside of the Microsoft Fabric service, and right away, I am inside of My Workspace. I know that because of the fact down here, I can see My Workspace. I can also see up here, new items are going to be saved to My Workspace. So there is a workspace flyout here where we can go and see different items. If you are an admin of your tenant, you'll see admin monitoring, and then you'll just see My Workspace. This may be blank for you, or you may have a lot of things there. As you're with your company for a long time and things progress, you will find that there will be a lot of workspaces. So let's pretend I have nothing here and we can go ahead and create a new workspace and we can give it a name. We can give it a description to just help people out. There is a domain capability here. There are no domains created in this tenant, but this is a way of organizing certain things. As of a recording of this video, domains do not implicitly allow for security enforcement, but they are a way of grouping things together. So like if we have a bunch of things that are part of the finance group, you can have a finance domain and kind of group those items together. Think of it like a tag of sorts. The other thing under advanced, there are licensing pieces and whatnot. We'll come back to that, but then we can just go ahead and hit apply. And now we have our beautiful workspace that has no content inside of it, which is sad. But we can go ahead and start publishing items to this. We can go up to new. We can create new items. You'll notice this is just the Power BI items that are available because I am in the Power BI persona. You could have a few options here. One, we could switch to a different persona. So if I go to data engineering and go back to My Workspace and go to new, you'll see different items here now under new. Or I could just go to show all and I'll see everything here. The possibilities are endless. Let's go ahead and go back to the Power BI persona because that's where I like to be. So now if we go back into our workspace, let's go back to Workspace Settings. There are a couple things here. One is we can assign capacity. You have different licensing options in terms of how you want this workspace to work. It could just be for pro users. This is on the Power BI side. It could be for Power BI premium users. So again, these two items are not going to include any of the Fabric pieces. We also have premium capacity, which is Power BI premium, which would include capacity or Fabric items. And then we've got embedded on the Power BI side, a Fabric capacity or your trial itself. And so you have options to handle what you want as part of that. You'll notice that there's an icon here because this is premium per user. There's a little diamond with a little person next to it. Otherwise, you'll just see a diamond if you have Power BI premium or a Fabric capacity. And if you have pro selected, you'll have nothing here. There are a couple different roles that you can assign in terms of access for a given workspace. Specifically, there's 4 of them. There's admin, member, contributor, and viewer. So let's go take a look at those. So if we go to manage access, you can see here that right now I just have one admin and it is myself because I created the workspace. So by default, if you create the workspace, you're the one that's going to be listed as the admin. You can assign people or groups as part of this. And so if I go in, I can say, hey, I want Patrick. We'll go in, we'll select Patrick, and then I can choose what I want them to have. So admin, member, contributor, or viewer. Admin and member, they can add other users or groups to this workspace at their tier or below. contributors are kind of like, they're the worker bees, right? So they're the ones that can go and create that content. They can go ahead and upload reports, create items, but they're not going to be able to share. They're not going to be able to do other things. And then viewers are just that. This is a read-only look, I just want to view the content. I want to be able to consume the content. I'm not necessarily going to be creating the content. The viewer also has implications when it comes to row-level security. So if you want to enforce row-level security on data, then they have to be in the viewer role. If you're in admin, member, or contributor, you're technically listed as an owner of the data set, and RLS will not be applied for that given user. There is one other setting here. So let's assume Patrick's going to be a contributor. We'll go and add him to this workspace. If I go into Workspace Settings under General, under Power BI, you will see this option here, Secure Update, allow contributors to update the app for this workspace. By default, contributors cannot update an app. They can't publish an app either. An admin or member can go ahead and create the app from a workspace, and then you can actually indicate whether or not you want contributors to be able to update the app. Remember, the contributors are kind of like the workers. So they're the ones probably going to be updating the reports. And once they update the report, it's kind of nice to have them be able to go update the app as part of that. Another thing that was recently added with the Microsoft Fabric announcement is this Git integration. And so this is something you can go set up. It's specific to Azure DevOps at the time of this recording. So you can go and configure that and then decide if you want that to be integrated into this workspace. I'm not going to go into more details on the Git integration in this video. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see how to actually get this going and how it works. Let's talk about storage here. So if it's not backed by capacity, we'll have up to 10 gigabytes of storage assigned to it. And so you'll see different workspaces that have different storage as part of it. Let's go to a different workspace and see, maybe go to one of these, go to Workspace Settings. And if I go to System Storage, you'll see now we've got 3 megabytes of usage. There's one report. So you can go through and look at different things. Let's go to Demo 2. If I go to Demo 2, you'll notice it's backed by capacity. And if I go to Workspace Settings, you'll notice System Storage. You'll see a lot of stuff here, but you'll see that it's 0 megabytes. And that's because if it's backed by capacity, the capacity has more storage for Power BI datasets than your regular 10 gigabyte limitation from a non-capacity workspace. When it comes to the other Fabric items, we're still waiting for details as of the recording of this video, because they did indicate there is potential cost for storage. Lake houses and warehouses, those can go way beyond what your Power BI data sets are going to consume. I will definitely have another video updating that once we know more. So let's talk about like administration of this, because from a tenant admin perspective, you may be like, well, I don't want everyone to go create a workspace. There could be a ton of workspaces. I want to control this a little bit. Maybe have a process to guide people through to make sure that workspaces are created in the right way. All right, so let's head over to our admin portal. And from a tenant perspective, we'll see something here under Workspace Settings. So you'll see this create workspaces. Part of the new workspace experience now, pretty much everything is the new workspace experience, but this can be enabled and you can control it by way of security groups. So you have to be in the security group if you want to create this workspace. All right, one other thing I want to show is a tidbit from Workspaces. This was a recent ad thing with the release of Microsoft Fabric that I love. Here you can see there's this icon like a pin. I can pin that to the top. Did you know that? Let me do it again. Let's see another. Let's go down. Patrick likes his Fabric demo workspace. I'm going to pin that to the top. Look at that. This is amazing. I have access to a lot of workspaces, both in GuineCube and my day job, and being able to pin these workspaces, these are the ones I really care about. People add me to all sorts of stuff and I don't necessarily use it. I'm just maybe a consumer of some of the data. And so I want to pin the workspaces to the top so I don't have to scroll and scroll and scroll. It's amazing. I love it. There are other things you can do from a workspace perspective. Once you get that content in there, you can create an app as part of that. I'm not going to go through all the details of it, but once you have gone through and gotten the data in that you want, let me actually go to a workspace that has some content. You can decide whether it's included in an app or not for Power BI reports themselves. And then you can go and hit create app. If there's already an app, you can update that, but you can go through and do all that. I'll have a different video that walks through the app experience and shows you how to take advantage of that. I will say from a broad content distribution perspective for Power BI reports, I definitely recommend going the app approach instead of direct access into the workspace from a viewer perspective. This just allows a clean separation. Let the developers do their thing in the workspace and let the consumers of the reports go and hit that from an app perspective. All right, that's a whirlwind of workspaces inside of Microsoft Fabric. Hopefully this gave you just a quick overview of what's going on and how to leverage them. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. We want to answer those for you and see if maybe we can make another video to help you out. As always, thank you so much for watching. Keep being awesome, and we'll see you in the next video.